Shalom, shalom, y'all Sharala. We'll start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakakadash, Pelo Hebrew tongues, creating names of Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And shalom to sister brothers living is true. And shalom to the brothers and sisters listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. When it comes to today with what I got before you is a bill that Esau Edom passed right under the noses of the people, and ain't nobody really talking about it. And it's going to have big implications on their future plans on what they're going to do. Because Esau knows, the elites, they know they're going to get some kickback. They know the people are tired of these mandates. They don't want to do the mandates. And so Esau has to put some on the books to combat, the pushback that they're going to get. And a bill that just recently signed, which if I wasn't in the Alabama live stream, I wouldn't even know nothing about it. A brother pulled it out in the Alabama sit down, Alabama Birmingham, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this got passed. I noticed when Esau does something real big that's gonna impact our lives, a lot of times they don't talk about it. And it's a big reason why they create these distractions. Everybody worried about the Will Smith, Chris Rock scenario and the beginning of World War III scenario, all them other things. But as they do that, they slide bills under the table, man, in the darkness. And the people ain't gonna know about it until it's too late. Until it's already, it's already been passed. It's already on the books. So what I got before you is a bill called SB 5919. It's a new bill they just passed March 4th. And it's got to do with law enforcement because they're going to give law enforcement the necessary tools and the jurisdiction to go ahead and handle, people forcefully. And specifically the children of Israel forcefully. Like that George Floyd situation, they don't want that to happen again. Now they want to where they could put their knee on your neck and there's no repercussions. You resisted arrest. I had to handle you with physical force. It is what it is. They don't want any more of their law enforcement going to jail for, handling Jake harshly. So let's read what Bill 5919 got to say. It says, concerning the standard for law enforcement authority to detain or pursue persons, revised for engross concerning the definition of physical force necessary and totality of the circumstances, and the standard for law enforcement authority to use physical force, providing the authority for a peace officer to engage in a vehicle pursuit when there is reasonable suspicion a person has violated the law and the officer follows appropriate safety standards. So this is a revision. And basically, you look at the revision, like I know, they revised the law right here as far as how the police handle the public so that the police can, step it up with more physical force. Because they're getting ready to do some messed up stuff. Like this is the predate a messed up mandate they're going to do that they know the people going to riot. So now they're giving the police force, the tools to go ahead and just, hey, they can knock your jaw off with a baton, tase you till you die. There's probably gonna be more shootings, and the officer gonna get off. This gives them more leeway because they be getting a lot of problems for the way they've been handling Jake and the police force. So now they just put in a new law to where it gives them more, like I said, leeway, little loopholes to get out of it, and they can just say, well, he did this, he was resisting arrest, and they can handle you physically. They can put their knee on your neck now until they cut your breath off. They can do that with this new law that passed. This is how the whole when it was getting rid up or whatnot. You can look it up yourself. There's the site I used in the bill. You look up a lot of bills actually on there, and what I want to catch is March 4th. As you can read it, it says third reading passed, 86 yeas, 12 nays. So this got passed, and it returned to the Senate rules March 10th. So ain't no telling when it's gonna go into play. It's gonna go into play right when they need it. Probably in the fall when they get ready, to throw out their more pestilences and get ready, to put more mandates out, and the people push back. They can put their law enforcement out there. Now the law enforcement gonna be more ruthless and more vicious because now the law backs them up on doing that. So this is Esau, getting ready and prepared to put his hands on the nation of Israel. So that's just information on that bill, and I just wanted to put that out there because I didn't know this law passed. Like I said, the brotherhood. That's why, baby, we got to think we got the house of David now. The house of David is, you know, doing what it's supposed to do. Blessed for your eyes for they see. So if one brother miss it, this brother might catch it, and then he puts it out to the whole house, and now the whole nation got it. So I'm doing my part, pushing it out there, being a good watchman, let Israel know, like, when you gotta deal even more wisely with the law enforcement, man. They got more juice to be more physical with you. So now you got to really use wisdom, and that's an unrighteous decree, man. And we're gonna go get that. Let's go to Isaiah 10:1. And it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's Esau all day long. All their laws, everything they prescribe is to mess up Yasharallah. Israel. That's what they do. And these devils are doing that because, like I said, they're getting ready to make a major move. They know they can no longer contain the issue. So now they're going to have to use that sword, and they're going to use force. So using that force, what they call the police. The police is called the police force. They got to arm them up. Tell them, hey, y'all got to get more physical. Y'all got to, toughen up, man. Hey, put them hands on Jake, man. Put that hot lead in Jake if you don't do what we say do. And that's what their laws will do. That's to arm up the police force, rev them up. And that's also scriptural. So let's go get that. And that's, like I said earlier, that's an unrighteous decree, man. They just giving Esau more reign to be more wicked. And a lot of Jakes, 2/3 mostly, they're going to get a lot of death from that law right there. I notice a lot of times Esau puts something in the law, it attacks the nation of Israel very badly. Always. They even now, they're repealing abortions. Why are they repealing abortions? Because Esau is now number one in getting abortions, and their numbers are already low. So now they put that in the law to take our numbers down. Now that it's getting reversed, like I did a lesson earlier, everything's reversing on them, and now they're the number one getting abortion. Now well, take that back. That's not right. That's wickedness. Now they want to take that back. So everything they do, man, is to try to, it's for their best interest, and it's always against Jake. So what they're doing that's also in the scriptures. Let's go to Psalms 7:12. And it says, if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. So I'm putting that in red because you just heard that, man. Wet means to sharpen. He's sharpening up that sword. That build is basically sharpening up that sword, man. That's getting them they strong ones, they police force, gearing them up to, put that thing on. It says and bent the bow. That's like cocking the gun. Same thing, man. They getting ready to you're gonna see more Jakes get put to death in the police force. That's what they gearing up for. And let's go get that definition of wet. So you can see, look, to sharpen. Let's go down to the definition. It says, sharpened by rubbing as on a whetstone. So, because I had to look that up when I first read that in the Bible. I'm like, what you mean wet the sword? I'm thinking of water. Nah, wet mean to sharpen. And it's a stone called a whetstone. That's how they sharpen their swords back in the day. So, that law we just seen, it's the same thing. That law we just seen, that's Esau sharpening up that sword, man. Getting that police force, getting that instrument sharp so they can get out there and put their hands on Jake, snatch him up, beat him, break your fingers. They can break your arm now, twist your arm till it break, and and the law's on their side. They can just be like, hey man, he tried to resist arrest, I had to apply physical force, and the judge can be like, well, yeah, according to law 5919, hey, he's good on that. They should abide by the law. So get your little broke arm butt in jail. That's how they gonna do it, man. So this thing about to kick up. It's about to get real crazy, and that's because they about to come with these mandates again, and people about to push back. People are already questioning why they did it. Now people that done went with the first go around, they're questioning why they even did it. So when they come with this thing again, because it looks like they ain't gonna change the scenario, they're just gonna come with, we got this virus and that virus, and hey, you gotta go get the thing. And people like, man, hell nah, and like Esau gonna get the sword and fight back. So I can just see that civil war cooking up. Esau see that civil war cooking up. So that's why, hey, they meeting in the darkness under all these distractions, and they getting laws to, benefit their system to try to keep it in place. So I'm gonna get another precept because they did that in the dark. That was right up under the people's noses, man. They slipped that right in, and not a lot of people know about that. Which is ain't no telling what other laws they sliding under our noses. That's why I'm in the house of David. As it get reported, I'm gonna put it out for the nation. That way you are aware, and you know not to act the fool with the police and all that. Cause now the little rights you thought you had, they took them rights away. I know this Esau is day by day they're just taking people's rights away. It ain't gonna be no constitution. It's gonna be straight martial law. He get to do whatever he want to do with your butt. The power's gonna be in their hands. So check it out. I'm gonna read Job 5:14. Salakia, and it reads, "They meet with darkness at the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night." You hear that? They meet with darkness in the daytime. Man, they do these things in the daytime. And they little meetings, they little board meetings, they all these little politicians gather around and they vote on laws. They do that during the day. They don't do that at night. They do that right in the little town halls and all of that during the day, and it's darkness because they do it. I noticed they pass their best laws when there's a bunch of distraction going on. There's a bunch of stuff going on. That way the news don't report it. Don't nobody even know about it. So that's that. They meet in darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as night, man. That grope, I noticed when you look in the grope, that's like uncertainty. It's kind of like reaching. So they're reaching. That's a reach right there. Esau reaching with that law they passed. They hoping like, that kind of, quells and puts the power in their hands. Let me go ahead and let law enforcement know, like, hey man, let that anger flow, man. When you see Jake, go ahead and beat him up. Rough him up. Just cuz. And we're gonna put the law behind you so you can do that. That way, don't worry about the George Floyd situation, man. Put your knee on his neck. Hey, choke him out. All the little maneuvers and tactics they got. Choke you out with their little nightstick. They can do all that now. And hit you and break your bones. And ain't nothing about to happen. But see, here go the kicker, 15. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from the mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. You peep that? I like how that precept say he saveth the poor. Who represent the poor? Yashra Israel. We represent the poor. And Yahweh does save us from that. And he said from the sword, modern day sword is a gun, and from their mouth. Because with these laws, that's coming from their mouth, man. This is something they put out there, pen to paper, and they put out with their mouth, vote on it. Unrighteous decrees, like I just put that precept earlier. That's why I say you got to stop their mouth, man, because it's nothing but iniquity and wickedness come out of it. And it says from the hand of the mighty. They police force, they military force, those are the mighty men now. And Esau, using his laws, unrighteous decrees, just gave more might into his force, into his strong ones. And then 16 says, so the poor have hope, and the iniquity stoppeth her mouth. It's going to them unrighteous decrees. Them laws they kicking out. The things they talking about, like mandates and all of that. So the poor, we have hope, man. We got our hope in Yahweh Bashiach Shah. And we got to stay locked in on this truth and keep our faith going because it's about to get real thick out here. Real thick. And see, 2/3 are not in the house of David. 2/3 don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So they going to get out there, think they got American rights, and it's my right, and all this, and act the fool to police. He just going to like, bam! He just going to bust them in the mouth with the nightstick, knock their teeth out, or crack them upside their head, or hit them with the tase gun, or just shoot them. How Esau like to get down. They don't give a damn about shooting Jake with their guns, so they just go ahead and pop you and say like you resisted, or say they had to use physical force, or like the number one thing they like to say, I fear for my life. Jake ain't got nothing but his hands. It's about 8 policemen. They blast him up, and then they go tell the judge they fear for their life. I'm like, you that damn scared, you shouldn't be on the police force. If it's that serious, but really we know what it is. Most Edomites sign up for the police force so they can kill an Israelite. So they can kill a Jake. Because deep down inside, that's what they want to do. Because they used to have that right back in the 1700s, 1800s. A Jake do something they don't like, they go get the rope and they lynch him. And they all have a picnic, a little barbecue around his little dead body, take pictures and cut his body up, make souvenirs. They used to do that. And Esau wants to go back to that. That's what that whole Trump Make America Great Again thing was about. They want to turn back the clock, reset, and go back to the ways they used to get down. They don't want to have to pay Jake for working. They want you to work for free. I had an Edomite tell me that his damn self at an old job I used to work for. He told me, like, man, I wish it was back, back in the slavery days, man, where I could do all of that. That's Esau's fantasy. They done heard stories of how their great grandfathers dealt with our great grandfathers, and that turns them on. They like, I wish I could do that. I hate that they got a little bit of rights right now. I wish I could just, I don't like that nigger over there. I can just get a mob and we get a rope and we hang them and we take pictures. Esau wants that back, but Esau not getting that back. But with these unrighteous decrees, they about to try to force it back with this, MOTB system we're going into. That's them trying to get their right back to handle Jake the way they want to handle Jake. That's why they got the coffins, the body bags already built up, the detention centers, FEMA camps. They about to, what they say it all the time, a global reset. What you think a reset mean? They mean to go back the way it used to be. They want Jake in hard bondage slavery. And the Most High about to let this devil have his little reign too, his little run. Yahweh Shai let this devil do that. That's why we telling everybody, and it's a warning to get in this truth, because Esau wetting that sword. You just seen with that law they signed, they about to come do that again. And they're setting a scenario so they can do that again. But this time it ain't gonna last though. The sleeper cells are here. The truth is here. We're hollering Yahweh Shai, in the true names, not doing like our forefathers before us that was stuck on that sweet baby Jesus. Now we got the real names. The real knowledge is out now. So that's how this devil about to get upset this time. But nonetheless, he's going to get an opportunity to do that. Which that's in the scripture, so I might end with that. To prove a point. I want to say that's Revelation 12:17. Yep, there it go. This is Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of her Yahweh Hamashiach. So that's what this devil about to do. That serpent done morphed into a dragon, and that dragon is Esau's system. That's Esau Edom. He that dragon, that red dragon. He's wroth with the woman. Who's the woman? That's the nation of Israel. Why is he wroth with the woman? Because she keeps the commandments of Yahweh, the hopeful elect. That's why it says the remnant of her seed. Not all of them. They ain't worried about the 2/3. They already got the 2/3. 2/3 is stuck on some BS. They only worried about the ones they worried about the house of David. That's what Esau worried about. Because we the ones who keep the commandments and we have the testimony. So I tell everybody, get the truth, man. What's the truth? The truth is the testimony of Yahweh Hamashiach. We have that. We have that. And that's what he's trying to get rid of that. He can't do a reset with that knowledge being out here in the world. He can't do it. He has to get rid of Israel. They thought they had did that back then. That's why these devils is upset that this wisdom, knowledge, understanding has come back. And see, they know the top elites know this it came back because now we're about to get salvation. Yahweh Shai about to come back this time when they put their hands on us. That's why I'm looking for this devil. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do, so we can go ahead and do what we need to do. So I think I'm gonna end off right there. I didn't mean to make this a long lesson. I just want to pull that law out to let you know, like, this devil's wetting the sword. Here he come. That dragon about to come down with great wrath. We reading about it right here in 17. That's that dragon. That dragon about to come down with wrath, on that woman. And he's looking to make war with the remnant of her seed. He gonna jack up all of Israel, but his main target is the ones who keep the commandments and have the testimony. That's the main target, because that's the ones Yahweh Shai loves and cares about. He don't give a damn about 2/3 right now. They gotta just go ahead and get what they gonna get and get their death, and then they gotta come back to the kingdom. They gotta get a hard reset. They need their memory wiped. They've been defiled. They whole mind, they can't be renewed right now. You can't clean their mind up with this word. Like our mind got cleaned up with the word. They've already been defiled to the max level, and Esau controls them. So they looking for the ones that know Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's who they got to get rid of, because we're the ones ushering him in. We're heralding Yahweh Shai back. By doing these video epistles, going on the highway hedge, everything we talk about is Yahweh Shai, the Lord and Savior, the Lord of hosts. You go to Isaiah, I always calls him the Lord of Hosts. Lord of Hosts is coming back. And he calls him a host. Because he coming with the heavily military. We have a military. When our military get here, that's it for that dragon. This is what it said in Genesis. The serpent head, the dragon head gonna get crushed. You know? Because Yahweh Shai gonna crush you. And then we gonna spoil you. You know, that's what's coming. And the devil know it. So he gotta make his moves right now. He gotta deal with us right now while he still has, while he's still in power, while he still has control. Because he's about to lose control. He's about to lose power. And we gotta, call Halal Yahweh Shai for that. We seconds away from salvation. We right here at the end of Esau Edom's run. So all we gotta do, keep the commandments and keep that testimony. Just like that precept said, those two right there. Which gonna go into your works and your faith. You gotta have that. So, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. Kwam Yasharala. Until the next time, Shalom, Lord willing.